Good morning, guys. Welcome back. NFL Week 7, almost halfway through the NFL season already, which is crazy. Before we get going, I'd like to thank some of our sponsors for today's show, starting off with the OG Group over at PickCity.com. Get the best picks over at PickCity.com from some of the most respected handicappers in the business. Next, give me StatBets. StatBets drops some of the best CLV plays in the business. You can get full access into their Discord for as little as $100 today. Head over to statbets.com and start winning now. Third and final sponsor is going to be Player Profit. Everyone who plays a big bet but didn't have the funds, well, Player Profit allows sports bettors to do just that. Pass their 2 challenges on playerprofit.com and get funded up to $100,000 in a sports betting account. It's really that simple. Prove you're a successful sports bettor by passing challenges, and you can bet completely funded. You keep 70% of everything you make off the challenges. Head to playerprofit.com to get started and use code GGS for 10% off any package. The code is available multiple times. So if you don't pass the first time, no worries. You can use it again, code GGS for 10% off any package. I'm also doing the exclusive Player Profit pick of the day every Sunday in the Player Profit group chat over on Discord. If you want access, hit me up on Twitter at GoGetM_sports and get you access to that. Free NFL pick every Sunday. We are 2-1 so far, heading into Week 7 on an awful win last week. Get in that. We'll get you going there. One more thing about Player Profit. Last week, Player Profit actually paid out an individual over $20,000 from their funded account. They passed multiple challenges. They went on a crazy hot streak. So yeah, it's definitely possible. It's definitely a cool way to cheaply sports bet. Rather than putting up hundreds of dollars on one bet, you can buy a package for as little as $10, $30, $50, and it's fun, guys. I use it. I think 2 of my friends are going to use it this weekend to try to beat some challenges and try to turn some little coin into some big coin. So definitely it's a fun place to be. Less stressful. Obviously, you're risking less money to win more. So definitely a different way to look at it in the sports betting world today. So head over to playerprofit.com. Use my code GGS for 10% off any package. All right, let's get down to the nitty gritty here. First, we're obviously going to go across the pond, head over to England, where the New England Patriots are taking on the, might as well say, European Jaguars at this point. Jaguars giving them 6 here in London, or in England, I should say. Shane, I think we both agree on this game. I think 6 is a little too much. I'm going to pull up what I have in this game right now. I have this game 22-20 Jacksonville, with a chance I think New England pulls off the upset. Yes, we see favorites cover in overseas a lot of the time. Unfortunately, last week the Jaguars didn't do that as they're 1.5-point favorites. But what do you see in this game?
I feel bad for London. They gotta watch this, and then we have to wake up early if we want to watch this. But when I did the write-up originally, I had the Jaguars barely covering, but it doesn't feel right. And Patriots are still dealing with injuries. Like Ramondre, don't know if he's playing or not. He did travel, but don't know their offensive line still in bits. Defensively, Patriots are down people, but the Jaguars have just looked like a shit show since the beginning of the year. This is must win for the Jaguars because I feel like Doug Peterson might get left in London if they lose. And I don't think he wants to stay there any longer. Or they just wait till they come back and then fire him. I don't know. But, this is a can't-lose spot for the Jaguars. 5.5, 6, whatever the line is when you do it, is a lot. Drake May's only 2nd game ever, and he's already having to travel to London. And then you mentioned it, the favorites in London win and they cover when they do. We saw the Bears manhandle the Jaguars there last week. This is a game not to bet. Just don't even worry about this game. Probably don't wake up early for it unless you're a Patriots fan that wants to see Drake May. But 2 bad teams. I just take the team with the points, I guess. But
it's obviously not a great game. But Jacksonville giving 6, I think, is a little ridiculous. I can't see this team giving 6 to virtually anybody. And you're giving it on a neutral field, basically. Yes, Jacksonville's more familiar with overseas play, but still, it's definitely a challenge for most teams. I'm going to take the 6 here. Don't love it. The line has moved against that too. So the line has moved towards the Jag, which is not favorable for the Pats, but I don't see Jacksonville winning a game by a touchdown here. They're playing so bad. Their secondary's a mess. Their defense just looks confused every time they get in the field. Trevor Lawrence on third down looks abysmal. Their O-line can't protect him on the dropbacks. Not saying the Patriots D-line's going to get to him, but no, I'm not trusting this Jags team to cover the 6. Basically, winning by a touchdown here. I don't think so. I'll take the 6 points. Definitely take the under here. I don't see either team scoring too many points. I know two not so great defenses, but I think and the offensive struggles continue with Jacksonville here. I wouldn't be surprised if Patriots pull off the upset. I mean, Drake May played pretty good last week. Got the ball in the air. He actually, I don't know if you knew this, he threw the longest air touchdown pass since Brady, I think, for the Pats.
But yeah, when you have fucking noodle arm Mac Jones, noodle arm Cam Newton, and cone Jacoby Brissett, that's probably what's going to happen.
No, I was saying because there's some promise there. I mean, something to look forward to, I think. And
you should have some great optimism for this team. I've been telling you that they should have started Drake May from week 1, and you just didn't want him to play at all this year.
Well, I think if they're playing him now, I mean, they might as well just start him from the beginning, in my opinion.
Yes,
if you're gonna wait till the end of the year or even next year to start him, fine. But if you're gonna play him 6 weeks into the year, you might as well start from week 1. So, all right, that's enough on this. Might be the worst game of the week.
No, there's some more coming. Don't worry.
This might be the best game of the week. We got Detroit heading to Minnesota in a NFC North rivalry game here. Let me pull up what I have on this one. I have this line's basically spot on for me. This line's jumped from 1 to 1.5 to 2 back to 1.5. I have this game as a 1-point game, basically a pick 'em. In my opinion, 2 of the very best in the business right now. I have this team power rankings. I have Detroit at 1, Minnesota at 2, and the difference between those two are decimal points, in my opinion. So, 2 of the best. Obviously, the miss of Aiden Hutchinson is going to be felt in this one. You'd love to have him in this type of game. Minnesota has covered every game so far. Off a bye with a offensive coach is definitely an advantage for Minnesota, I think. Get your guys rested. The coach play schemes in there pretty good now. But this is a tough one. I know Shane is a big Jared Goff fan, as am I. And it's tough to I know sometimes we overlook the short spread on a team that's 5-0. It's covered every spread so far, but it's tough for me not to go with Minnesota here. Just one, because of the injury to Hutchinson's a big loss, huge loss. And Minnesota's just playing well. Defense is spectacular. Playing great defensive ball with Flores. Offense move the ball on the field. Yes, is Sam Darnold due for a Sam Darnold game at some point? Yes, but is it against this defense? I don't know. Jared Goff in a dome. There's so many points for both teams here that's why it's going to be a close game. That's why the spread's 1.5. So I'm going to lean Minnesota and take the gross side here, I think, which is Minnesota. If Hutchinson's in this game, I think it's a totally different side for me. So
I think
26-25 Minnesota is my score. So
I think something not being talked about is the status of Aaron Jones, because he's been dealing with an injury, and then the Vikings went to go trade for Cam Akers this past week, which makes me think that Aaron Jones might not be playing this week. I don't know why you make that move for Cam Akers now. And when he was on the team last year, because he's familiar with Kevin O'Connell from the Rams days, he was actually the backup, and then Ty Chandler was the third back in the rotation, even when they had Dalvin Cook. So I'm wondering if they just plan on throwing Cam Akers in there immediately. And we've seen this Vikings team this year, when Aaron Jones is not on the field, they can't do a whole lot. Aaron Jones is a pivotal part of this offense. If you're forcing Sam Darnold to throw and you don't have to really worry about a run game, then I think Sam Darnold becomes extremely vulnerable. We saw it in the Jets game just last weekend or in London. The Lions are getting points. I feel like that's just hard not to take. The Lions are a premier team in the league right now. Jared Goff in a dome, you mentioned. Disgusting.
Yes.
Lions are 21-9 ATS as underdogs with Goff and Campbell, including 9-1 in their last 10. This should be the best game, if not the second best game of the week. Hopefully, there's a lot of points. I'm just going to take the team getting points here.
Yeah,
and what I think is a better team.
I can't hate on you. I mean, I think there's a better team too. I just the home advantage for Minnesota is huge here. The great home crowd. It's gonna be a sold out crowd. It's gonna be wild and out in Minnesota in the dome. I can't really hate on either side here. I don't have a play in it because I think the game should be so close and there's no value here with the spread being at 1.5. So yeah, I can't really hate on Shane for taking, obviously, in my opinion, the best team in football, getting 1.5. So should be a great game. Should be some decent amount of scoring in that game too. Should be exciting. And I think whoever wins this game is probably the best team in football going forward. I mean, Minnesota started Sam Darnold, I understand. But we've seen teams like this go forward with bad quarterbacks. We saw this Vikings team go into the playoffs with wow, I just drew a blank.
Case Keenum.
Case Keenum, thank you. We saw this team go with Case Keenum to the playoffs. I mean, Kirk Cousins is not great, and they still win. So I think it's a solid roster. And Sam Darnold has been put into a great place to succeed this year. And if he takes advantage of it, I mean, good for him. If he doesn't, then we'll see what happens going forward. But this would be a great test to see who is the top dog in that division. So, all right, the Titans roll into Buffalo, getting 9.5 now. I have this game as a VIP play. We bet it on Monday. Let me tell you what the spread is for this one. If I can pull it up. Yep. So I have Buffalo winning by 11 here at home. So we got this game at 8.5. So 2.5 points of line value there for us. So we took the 8.5 up to 9.5. So it looks like we're on the right side here. Yes, I know laying a lot of points in the NFL is definitely a scary situation. But we've seen this Buffalo team and offense just keep shredding, right? Without James Cook last week, they still played pretty good on offense. They missed 3 kicks. That's 7 points off the board, and they still scored 23 on the road in prime time. So technically, they should have scored 30 last week. And they still won the game 23-20 against like we agree, a good to great Jets defense on the road. So it's hard for me to take the points here with Tennessee. It's kind of like this Washington game we'll get into, and it's kind of like the Panthers games in the past. Like they're getting down to that level of bad. I have them 28th in the power rankings, only ahead of Cleveland, Carolina, New England, and Miami. Tennessee I'm talking about. So it's tough for me to take the points here on the road with Will Levis, who is a turnover machine right now. And I think if you turn the ball over to Josh Allen, he's going to make you pay for it. So, we have this game at 8.5. Love the spot here for Buffalo. I do lean the under here. I think Tennessee doesn't score too many points. I have it 31-20-ish Buffalo, so right at the edge of that under. I don't even see Tennessee scoring that many points really. I think maybe 17 is the cap for them. They just can't move the ball in the air, Shane. It's one of the worst passing attacks we've seen. With a quarterback who I think is playing worse than what he really is, in my opinion. We've seen Levis, chuck the ball pretty well in the air with D-Hop last year. Just not finding the offense in that system right now through the air. So if you get down to this Buffalo team early, if you go down 10-0, 13-0, this game's over. You cannot throw the ball. You're a run-heavy team right now with not very good running backs. Yes, they have 2 okay running backs. O-line's been playing pretty good, but I think it's a bad game for Tennessee.
This game's just like ugly. For me personally, like 9.5, it's like I can't take a favorite of like that stature. Josh Allen the past few years has not done great as a big favorite. 9-17-1 ATS when favored by 4 or more. but this Titans team, like with Will Levis under center, can't really move the ball. I mean, if you've seen the video of like they're showing Calvin Ridley's like targets in the game, and they're like either 10 feet in front of him, or he's trying to get the ball like in triple coverage the entire time. So I think they tried to force feed him the ball early because Ridley is pissed there right now. Titans still have like a good defense, which is like the only reason why they would have a chance in any game like this. Bills get Amari Cooper back. We'll see. I think he's expected to play, but we'll see if he's limited because he's not familiar. We don't know if he's going to be playing full allotted snaps or not. Yeah, I wouldn't touch this game, me personally. But if you were, it's just hard to take like near 10 points with a team.
It's uncomfortable for sure.
But yeah, there's like not much. I want to abandon the Titans so bad, but like, they were my team coming into the year.
This is how I look at it, right? I mean, we saw this Bills team last week deal with injuries with obviously maybe their best player on offense in James Cook, and they should have beat the Jets on the road by 10. Right, they missed 2 kicks, they missed an extra point.
I get that, but everything's matchup dependent. You can't just look at they lost 100%. This team by whatever. Then
no, I understand that. I'm just saying that they can lay it on thick, and they should have put 30 some odd points on this Jets team at home. Somewhat fully healthy with Sauce on all them guys, all the dogs on the D line. It's tough. The Tennessee team has 1 win, and it's in my opinion, the worst team in football right now with Miami, which we'll get into later. So yeah, there's no way in hell you can. I wouldn't bet Tennessee with your money, Shane, and I wouldn't.
I'd bet Tennessee with your money.
I think the best bet, if you don't want to lay aside here, is the under.
Yeah, just take high point like favorites.
Yeah,
unders.
Yep, 9.5 plus or more. Usually leans favorites in the NFL over the past couple of years. I think it's like 60% actually. So yeah, if you want to take the side here with the big spread, I totally understand. It's an uncomfortable bet for both ways. So take the under if you don't want to do that. Take the under here too. All right, Eagles in New York this weekend, taking on the rival Giants, NFC East matchup. One of the most disappointing teams to start the year, obviously, I think, for Philly. I have this team as basically mid right now. They're 17 for me in terms of power rankings. They're a negative power ranking team right now, surprisingly, negative 0.2 for me. So yeah, tough first 6 weeks of the year. Maybe we can turn around starting this week with their rival in New York. But I don't think it's going to be a cupcake game. I have this game 23-20 Philly, right on the line here with 3.5. Not much value for us. That's why we didn't take anything in this game. But yeah, I don't know. This defense is risky business here for Philly on the road. I know Giants aren't fully healthy. Neighbors is going to be out.
Neighbors is in.
He's in. Okay, that's good. But
Singletary's also in.
Ooh, hello. Same I misspoke there with the injuries. So they're fully loaded, ready to go. And Philly could be in for maybe a rough spot here coming into New York on a team that's got some type of positive energy coming into week 7.
I'm a Giants fan, but I am on the Giants in this game to just straight up win. Jalen Hurts as a favorite, not in Philly, has not been good as of late. 7-15-1 ATS as a favorite away from home. 1-5-1 in his last 6. Thankfully, this game is happening at 1 o'clock because Daniel Jones is only good in the 1 o'clock window, apparently. 22-16 ATS in 1 p.m. games or earlier. Also, 23-15 ATS after a straight-up loss. The Eagles are having – I don't think they're having on-the-field issues, but there's definitely stuff behind the curtain that's becoming an issue with Nick Sirianni. He's proven to be not a leader because they have to have Jalen Hurts do like the talks before games instead of the coach, which I think is a little weird. And then Sirianni getting into it with fans last week. because they should have easily taken care of the Browns, but didn't, which is not to go too far back, but that kind of feels similar to the Titans Bills game. Big favorite, and then there could be a letdown spot there. But Eagles defense is just abysmal, and the Giants offense works when Malik Neighbors is in there, not just because of his talent, but he creates for other players. Andrew Thomas being out for the rest of the year sucks for the Giants.
Yeah, it's a big loss.
Eagles also dealing with injuries, though. Their left tackle's out. Jalen Hurts, I think, is people are starting to realize he's not as good as what people think he is, like throwing the ball at least. This is the Saquon revenge game. That's going to be a huge narrative. Everybody's going to be betting him to score like 2 touchdowns, whatever. But I think the Giants are actually going to just solely focus on Saquon.
Yeah,
in my opinion, I think they're just going to load the box and say, if you're going to beat us,
let Hurts beat you.
Jalen Hurts is going to have to beat us through the air. Yeah, Giants at home getting these points. They played the Bengals decently well in primetime. They didn't score a lot, but they were able to hold the Bengals offense in check for the most part. Like Joe Burrow scrambled for like 50 yards for a touchdown. That's not going to happen. That doesn't happen on a consistent basis. I'm just not a fan of Sirianni, and this Eagles team is not showing any like huge signs of life. They're just kind of there.
Yeah.
Who would have thought the Commanders would have been the team in the NFC East going into this year? But I'll take the Giants in a under game in this game.
The under scares me a little bit. I mean, I think Giants put up some points here, and Philly's one of those teams that will fight back, which scares me with the under a little bit. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game. I think Philly's hungry. Philly wants to get back in the green here in the right way of what they expect to be, with maybe the best team on paper that's still going into this year in terms of offense, especially. But yeah, just playing bad football, man. I don't know if it's too many new pieces or what, but it's not gelling right now. Them and the Jets.
It's the coach.
Could be. Them and the Jets are two of the teams that need to figure it the fuck out heading into week 7, because the season's flying by. So, all right, another divisional game here. The Bengals taking on the Cleveland Browns. Another game where I think the spread is basically spot on here. This line's jumped between 5 and 5.5. We'll probably get to 6 before kickoff, I expect. Somehow I still have this Cleveland team as a positive team in terms of just their defense is carrying them. Offense is still abysmal. But I have this game 23-18 Cincy on the road. I know Shane's got some pretty nasty trends with Joe Burrow versus the Browns, which I totally understand. But I think this Bengals defense, or this Bengals team, is hungry. This Cleveland's team's going the opposite direction now with the trade of Amari Cooper. I think the team knows that they're basically the season's over. Not much to really play for at this point. Been a huge disappointment. So I don't have anything like bet in this game, but if it was anything, it would be the lay of Cincinnati.
Yeah, Joe Burrow, he can't figure out the Browns. I don't know what it is. 1-5 straight up against the Browns. 0-3 on the road against the Browns. Underdogs in AFC North games in general, 23-15 ATS since 2021. The Bengals defense is not good. I know the Browns offense is not good. They get Nick Chubb back. We'll see how not limited he is. I don't think Jerome Ford's suiting up, so maybe Nick Chubb's going to see more than what we thought. I still think the Bengals win this game, but you're giving the home team in this division game 5.5 in an AFC North division game. I'll take the Browns to keep it close. We didn't think they'd keep it close against Philly.
Mm-hmm.
That happened. Now they come home. The defense is still playing well. Definitely, this is an under game, in my opinion. Screams under. But I'll take the Bengals by a field goal, so Browns cover.
Okay. All right. I think my second one I've announced, second VIP play going into week 7. We bet this game last Sunday at Green Bay -2.5. It's up to 3 now. At some point, Shane, this Houston team's gonna fall off the rails, and I don't know if it's this week or sometime, but they're playing really above what they're putting out, and they're getting really lucky. I think this defense is atrocious. I'm gonna use that word atrocious with this defense. On paper, it looks pretty good talent wise, and they're staying in games because of C.J. Stroud, but this defense is getting into scary territory with what we're seeing in terms of numbers. So, and the offense is not much better, to be honest. I know C.J. Stroud's playing really good football, but I think Green Bay lays it on thick. I have this game 27-22 Green Bay. I have this Texans team below the Eagles, and we just talked about them in Philly, how they're struggling. So at some point, I think they're going to regress down towards where they're actually playing and stop getting lucky. And I think this is a bad spot for them on the road. So yeah, I'll lay the 3 here with Green Bay. We laid the 2.5 last week, and it's up to 3 now. I don't know if it will cross 3. 3 is that key number in football. 3, 7, 10, 14, 21. So 17, 21. So I don't know if it will kick that key number of 3. So if you're at the Texans, you want to wait, I'd get it now. If you like the Green Bay Packers, I'd get it now too, because if it does jump to 3.5, obviously you missed that key number of 3. But yeah, I love Green Bay this week.
Trying to copy me with the score prediction there? I had a 27-22. I had a 27-22.
Look at that.
Can that be me? Surprisingly, teams after playing the Patriots are not good at covering. I don't know if you knew this. 19-27-1 ATS since 2018. C.J. Stroud is 1-3 ATS versus teams that score at least 24 points a game. Packers are over that. Teams that play Green Bay on the second game of a road trip, 7-16-1 ATS since they're over the last decade, 3-7 since 2020. LaFleur is good as a favorite. LaFleur good against teams above 500. The Packers team is just rolling. Lambeau is a huge home field advantage. Texans have been asking to lose a game for a couple weeks, I think. Packers proving why they were my pick to win the Super Bowl, I think, right now. They're a top team in the league. Give me the Pack. Just give me the Packers.
Yeah, I think it's a good spot for them. Jordan Love's getting back in the rhythm here at home, with a big game. I think the talent's going to show here. No Nico, obviously. Big deep threat going for them. Leon, Stephon Diggs, and Tank Dell. I think this could be the first time we see some regression for Houston. So, all right, Seattle in a desperate spot here in Atlanta, getting 3 on the road. Sorry, this line's been right on the same all week, hasn't moved much. I make this line Atlanta -4, so not much value there for me. Atlanta's another team that at some point I think is going to regress a little bit. I think they're playing above their means right now. I have them right in line with like how the Jets are playing and who else do I have there? Like Washington. Those are the type of teams they're playing with right now. I think Washington, their team, is playing really above their means like right now too. Not saying it's this week, but at some point you're going to see some regression with Atlanta. They're getting real lucky at the end of games. Excuse me. I think that Seattle's hungry in this game, and traveling cross country again. They've been good traveling cross country in the past. I think Shane probably has that in his trend somewhere. But I have this game at -4, so there's no value for me on either side really. But I would not be surprised if Seattle, who is now healthy on defense too, they're getting some good guys back on defense, come into Atlanta and sneak out a win. So I see some points here. I see both teams moving the ball on the field pretty well. Seattle's defense, yes, been banged up, but it has not been good on third down. So yeah, let's take the over here. I think this is the best bet in this one. 28-24 Atlanta. I could see more points in that, to be honest with what I have.
There's the trends kind of go like both ways here. Like Gino isn't good on extended rest, but then Seattle on a 3-game losing streak, like
Yeah.
really good. Teams traveling from the Mountain or Pacific area, going to Eastern time zone, doing good. Falcons not that great out there, straight up win, but the Seahawks started 3-0, but their beginning of the schedule was
This was
probably
the easiest of all time.
the most cupcake of cupcake. I think this is just a don't overthink spot. One team's really hot and the other one's really cold, and the hot team's at home. I think you just ride with the Falcons here, in my opinion. I don't really have too much analysis beyond that. I'm just going to take the team that's rolling.
Yeah, they're playing good. They're coming up big in big spots. I think they're getting a little lucky down the stretch, which is part of the game too. But yeah, they're lucky they play in an awful division. They have the easiest schedule going forward the rest of the year. So all I'm gonna say. All right, here it might be the grossest pick by Shane Williamson all season. I think this is going to be disgusting. So let me speak first. Colts obviously playing at home against Miami, giving 3 points, which I think is blasphemy. Why they're only giving 3. This is another VIP play. We got it at 3.5, and with Richardson announced in, the line drops to 3, which says a lot about their quarterback. Here's the problem. This Miami team cannot move the football. Yes, I know the Colts have not a great defense. In some metrics, they are good, and in some metrics, they are bad. But we're going to say they're mid for right now. And they're a mid team going into week 7 right now in my power rankings. Miami is the worst. And without Tua, they cannot move the ball on the field. Yes, A-Chain's back for this week, which is great for them. But against Tennessee, they cannot move the ball on the field either with A-Chain. Huntley, week 3 into this system. Maybe he finds a groove. I don't think so. I think he's fucking horrible. Excuse my French. So I have this line with Flacco. I have this line by 10. Okay, I think this is a blowout with Flacco. Now with Richardson, I have it as a -7 advantage for the Colts here. I have it 25-18 for Indy, and we laid the 3.5. I still love it at 3.
First off, I'm going to say the under is probably the lock of the year in this game. 43.5 for these two teams. There's just no shot that's hitting.
I mean, Miami's defense is horrible.
Yeah, but Anthony Richardson's playing quarterback.
I know that, but if there's a game that he's gonna go off, it's this game.
And there's no Jonathan Taylor.
Correct.
Those are my 2 reasons for why I'm taking the Dolphins in this game.
Oh, God.
I know it's gross, but sometimes gross wins sometimes.
Yeah, Panthers.
You get the Dolphins coming off the bye.
Panthers were pretty gross.
Okay, I've told you now my new rule with the Panthers, and I don't think you disagree with it. You get the Dolphins coming off a bye. Colts are a bit banged up. I mean, obviously Dolphins banged up because of Tua, but I mean they still have the offensive line's figuring it out a little bit. I think it's better than what it was in week 1 and week 2. I'll tell you that much. You get A-Chain back, which I think is huge. This game just reeks what it was like with Dolphins Patriots to me. I think the Dolphins just try to run it like crazy with A-Chain and Mostert, who's now back. And Huntley isn't a guy to like turn the ball over. Like he's not going to force passes into bad windows or whatever.
So you can't
Anthony Richardson, on the other hand, will fucking just throw it deep in the double coverage and just hope Alec Pierce is there to catch it. And I think the one thing that the Dolphins have that could do that, they do have I think a decent secondary. You got Javon Holland, you got Jalen Ramsey, who everybody thinks Jalen Ramsey's just a cone now, because we've seen him get like burnt a couple times, but like he's still good. This is just fucking bad meat. If you watch this game, this is the only game on your TV, I think you need to stop watching football. First of all, if you're watching on Red Zone, you're probably not going to see this game much at all. It's just give me the team that's getting the points in this game. People are overrating this Colts team a lot, in my opinion. Like since the beginning of the year, because of Anthony Richardson, the hype train was there with him. Like, oh, he's the next phenom, whatever. Anthony Richardson's not good. I've been saying it forever. He can't throw the ball. He's literally Justin Fields. He's a bigger body Justin Fields.
I like Justin Fields.
Yeah, that's why he just got benched. Thank you.
Which wrongfully.
You know, a report just came out that said that both quarterbacks are going to play.
That's so dumb.
So that just makes my case for the game later even stronger, in my opinion. But the reason that they made the change, there's a reason why this Colts team works a lot better with Joe Flacco in it. Like if Joe Flacco was playing and Jonathan Taylor was playing, I would be on the Colts 100%. I would think it'd be close to a blowout. But you're giving me the worst quarterback, and now Trey Sermon starting a running back. I can't.
Okay.
Oh, my Panthers.
All right. Carolina laying or getting 9.5 now. This line opened around 8, I think. Not really much to say here. This fucking team is terrible. I faded them last week with Atlanta. I'm not fading them again this week. I don't see too much value at 9.5 now. I have this game 30-22 Washington. Washington's offense still kicking ass against one of the worst defenses of football this week in Carolina, who can't stop shit. I wouldn't be surprised if Washington puts up 6 touchdowns.
Neither would I, but my problem is I think that the Panthers could also do that on this Commanders defense. I still have the Commanders winning the game. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm not taking the Panthers to win this game. Surprise to the world. But 8 points, or when I wrote this, now it's 9.5. I don't think this Commanders team's good enough to cover by 10. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry to me. Sorry to your sorry ass pick. The Panthers.
I'm not taking the Panthers to win the game.
That's fine. Taking the points is worse. That's fucking brutal.
Commanders are 13-40. ATS is a favorite of 6 or more over the last 30 years.
Yeah, who gives a fuck?
Teams averaging 28 plus points per game coming off a loss in September, October. 30-49 ATS since 2018.
Dude, this Carolina team might be the worst team of all time.
Then why aren't they last in your power rankings?
Because Miami is playing worse without Tua.
But you just said that they're the worst team of all time. Shouldn't they be the bottom of the fucking rankings?
Yeah, but with Tua, they're not.
So where does Miami go next week when Tua's back?
See?
I'm not taking the Commanders at almost 10 points.
Of course not, because you're a Carolina lover for some reason.
Didn't you just say a little bit earlier that you think that the Commanders are they're playing over?
They're due for regression.
So I think them being almost 10-point favorites in a game, I think is a good spot for that to happen.
This is not.
I don't think they lose. Again, the Commanders are winning the football game. I'm not taking the Panthers to win. I said the Panthers play a bad defense and they are getting a decent amount of points. I will take them to cover, and I'm standing by that.
Can't do it. All right, this one we're going to agree on. I think this line is ridiculous.
This line makes no. This is the worst line of the week.
Raiders at the Rams here. Yes, I know both teams are bad. Rams getting a little healthier. But I have this game 23-20 Rams. I think 7 points is ridiculous. I don't know if it's because guys are coming off injury reports or whatnot, but I can't do it. This Rams offense has looked bad. Defense not much better. Yes, the Vegas defense has looked awful as well, and they turn the ball over way too much, which could lead to more points for LA. But yeah, 23-20 LA. This line has boomed from, I think it was at 4 up to 7 now. So
yeah, the Raiders are without weapons, but still, there's just no reason the Rams should be touchdown favorites in this game. Kupp still isn't 100% because he hasn't really been fully practicing, but he's still planning on playing. Obviously, Raiders, no Devontae Adams now. Jacoby Myers out. Sean McVay is 0-7-1 ATS on extended rest since their Super Bowl win.
Wow.
Matthew Stafford's 4-8-1. A win percentage of 33%. 62, 83, and 1 ATS. At least 14 points. The Raiders, because they get.
All right, Shane's cutting in and out. I'm gonna let him. Hold on, Shane. You're cutting in and out a little bit. Let me add you back.
Hey, howdy.
Your Wi-Fi is a little fizzy right now.
Yeah, I got shit internet. Whatever. Just give me the points with the Raiders. The Rams should not be 7-point favorites.
Yeah, I think 7 points is a little ridiculous. You asked this team to win by 8+. Yikes! I don't know. Fully healthy, of course. I mean, this offense fully healthy can put up points, but tough one. I think 7's ridiculous. Someone's way smarter than both of us think differently because this line has gone from 4 to 7, which is 3 points, which is huge. If this line goes over 7, I think the Raiders are fucked. But yeah, very interesting line movement there. All right, maybe game of the week, maybe not. We'll see. KC at San Fran. This line's going away from me. This is my other VIP pick of the week. And Shane agrees here with the trends that he found. I have this game 24-22 KC. It's pretty simple. I think Kansas City is playing better on both sides of the ball, especially the most important side of the ball on defense. And Kyle Shanahan does not win these games, which we've seen in the past. What was that stat I sent you, Shane? Is it 0-7?
It's 0-7 against Buffalo, Baltimore, and Kansas City.
Brutal. Like, brutal. Yes, this is typically a game where KC loses on the road regular season. They've seen it with the Bills. They've seen it with the Bengals and whatnot. But I think KC heading to a bye next week, right?
KC just got off the bye.
Off the bye. So, okay, off the bye, even better. San Fran off a mini bye. They played Thursday night. It's tough not to pick against this KC team right now. Real tough. Moving the ball with no weapons. The defense is playing really good football. Some of the best in the league right now in terms of defense. And you're giving me points here with, an NFL MVP, which I don't agree with, but with the best team in football right now, or one of the best teams. I have them at 3 behind Detroit and Minnesota. Yeah, give me the points here. We got it at 1.5. It's up to 2. It's gonna keep going. Maybe 2.5. I think because the home favorite's gonna keep getting action here. But I like the dog here and Pat, and Shane's got some crazy trends for Pat Mahomes as a dog. So
11-1-1 ATS as an underdog. I could just rattle off stat on stat, but you're giving me Mahomes as an underdog who is excelled in all levels. Andy Reid off the bye, who's the best coach off the bye in NFL history. And Kyle Shanahan, a guy that can't beat teams that are really good in big game situations. Just not overthinking this and give me the Chiefs.
I agree. All right. Fucking terrible. Jets on the road in Pittsburgh. Must-win spot for the Jets, which are why I think I disagree with this line so much. So with Justin Fields, I have this game 21-17 Pitt. Without Justin Fields, I have no fucking clue because we have no idea what Russell Wilson is. Neither do the Steelers, which is why it's dumb making this move with a 4-2 record coming into a Week 7 home game, which could be 5-2, which whatever. Go 9-8 again. That's fine. But yeah, 4-2 head to Week 7. Let's make a quarterback change. That's good. At home, good spot. Nice job, Tomlin. Defense is playing spectacular. Maybe the best defense in the league so far. Jets in a must-win spot. I don't know. This game pisses me off. It just makes no sense to move quarterbacks right now. 0 sense. If you think the jump from Russ to Fields is that different, then this team should be undefeated, and they should be the number 1 team in the league right now because the team's 4-2. They've won 2 road games, and they're heading into week 7 at home against a desperate team in the Jets. So why wouldn't you stick with your quarterback out? You 4-2. It makes no sense to me. But Shane's gonna have the Jets because he hates fucking Justin Fields.
Well, Justin Fields isn't playing, so I
You
don't
said
know
he's
how that.
playing.
Well, Russell Wilson is getting the bulk of the snaps, but
It's
they're still.
fucking, what is this, college?
Yeah, they're gonna have specific
Yeah, that's
packages for him.
horrible. That's horrible.
Aaron Rodgers 3-0 ATS versus Mike Tomlin. Teams after facing the Raiders in Vegas without a bye, 11-22-1 ATS, including 0-2 ATS this season. Russell Wilson used to be a nighttime darling, now is not. 7-16 ATS in night games since 2019. He is good as a home underdog, though. 10-3 ATS is a home underdog. I'm just taking this is in the terms of must win.
Yeah,
this
100%.
is the most must win game that there probably could be this season. If the Jets lose this game, their season's over.
Yep. Pittsburgh's already over because of what they did this week. So.
I'm getting the better quarterback, the better overall offense. The margin between the Steelers defense and the Jets defense is a lot smaller than what the Jets offense hopefully should be now with Devontae Adams and the Steelers offense. I think maybe we do see the fans in Pittsburgh start booing, calling for Justin Fields mid-game. Who knows? Me personally, I don't think that he's a good enough quarterback to even merit that. But they've seen success with Justin Fields, and they want to just every team wants to be successful.
That's why I don't understand. Why are you doing this?
Well, their plan to start the season was Russ is going to start.
I understand that, but you went 4-2 through week 6, and you won 2 road games. And you're going at home in week 7 to make yourself 5-2.
I don't know what to tell you. I still personally think Russell Wilson's the better quarterback of the two.
He might be the better quarterback. You might be 100% right. But, again, Tom Brady wasn't the better quarterback when Drew Bledsoe got hurt and then came back. Okay? He wasn't the better quarterback then. He was now, but he wasn't then. So
I think this has to do with what they've seen out of the passing offense as a whole.
Terrible.
Which has been bad. So they want to see, can Russ actually do something here?
Against the Jets. Just an awful, awful spot.
I know, but you also wouldn't want to throw him in against the Panthers and be like, hey, look at this offense.
Awful spot for Russell. Terrible spot.
The lights will be shining bright for Russ.
The Jets win this game because of Mike Tomlin's dumbass.
Yeah, okay? I would be on the Jets either way. I also like the over in this game sneakily. It's only at 39, which I think is a little low for what this Jets offense can be, and if the Steelers can actually move the ball. We've seen teams move the ball on the Jets this year.
This Steelers defense is top notch.
I know, but facing Aaron Rodgers, how he can slice up any defense.
Of course.
We'll see. I'm on the Jets though, and if they lose this,
I'm on the Jets too.
If the Jets lose this game, it's over. It's over.
Yeah,
Aaron Rodgers might retire midseason.
It just pisses me off. If I'm a Steelers fan, I'm fucking pissed. Pissed, dude. This guy has got you 4-2, and this kid is the most humble individual I've seen in a long time. He says I must not have played good enough, which he didn't play great, but he didn't play awful either. He got you 4 wins out of 6. Okay, and you're top of the division in a tough division right now. So
if Justin Fields was if he was the Colts quarterback, with Shane Steichen, who uses mobile quarterbacks a lot, I think he would probably be in the top half quarterback conversation. He's just not in a scheme that fits what his play style is. He's not a guy that you want just slinging the ball.
No, of course not. But maybe adapt to the quarterback you have, like Lamar. They adapted to Lamar. They brought a whole new system in for Lamar. I'm not saying you do a whole new system out for Justin Fields because he's not Lamar. But what you have is working. You're 4-2. Facing a team that's 2-4. It's just an awful time to change quarterbacks. What's their schedule coming up?
The Steelers' second half schedule is brutal. They haven't played anybody in the AFC North yet.
Why wouldn't you bring Russ back after the bye? You have a bye week in 2 weeks playing Washington. This doesn't make any sense.
Just have the Steelers play back-to-back primetime weeks against New York teams.
It just doesn't make home too. That doesn't make any sense. Makes no sense. Ship him out there at a 1:00 game in Washington. Do it. After you might go 1-1 these games. Now you might go 0-2. I hope they lose every fucking game the rest of the year. It's just dumb. It's just really
Maybe
dumb.
Tomlin knows something we don't.
Yeah, Tom hasn't done shit.
He wins every year.
Oh yeah, they're great. All right, we're getting to Monday Night Football because I'm fucking pissed now. It just makes no sense. It's bad for the game too. It's bad. You're giving Aaron Rodgers a free win basically.
This game though is good for the game. This game's good for the game.
It's gonna be a great game, and it's gonna be another fucking upset by Tampa Bay. Okay, because we got Tampa Bay at +4.5, and now the line's dropped to 3.5, and Bucs are coming out there out of this game with a win. And I don't give a fuck about Lamar's numbers against the NFC. Okay, make it 22-2, Shane. Okay, pal.
Well, if it's not Daniel Jones, that's not going to happen. He's the only
22-2 against the NFC after Monday Night Football. Bucs win this game. I have it 25-24 in a really good game, I think, at Monday Night Football. Tampa Bay's defense, I think, is going to slow down Lamar. The way you beat Lamar is make him pass. And I think Tampa Bay controls the run game. I think Tampa Bay is going to be fired up. Prime time, Monday Night Football after a hurricane. Fans will be ready to go. Tough place to play. With a good defensive coach who have this team ready to go, I think. Baltimore's won 4 straight. Let's kick that to the curb now. Let's end that 4 straight. And yeah, I have it 25-24 Tampa Bay. I think the defense just picks up this team as a home dog. So
this will probably be the most exciting game to watch. Like the Chiefs and Niners games, obviously big names, but I could see that game just going really slow, a lot of running and stuff. Lions Vikings should obviously be exciting. This I think is going to be could be the highest scoring game of the week. I know there's a lot of emotion coming into this game for Tampa because of the hurricane stuff, and you're at home. You're playing a big time opponent in Baltimore. This is like a mini Super Bowl for the Bucs, just based off of emotion. I get that, but Mike Evans is not 100%. He's a big cog on this offense. He's only practicing today when we're filming this. That's the only day he's practiced. The Ravens' pass defense has been sus this year. I understand that. Baker on Monday Night Football, 1-5 straight up at ATS and 0-4 when an underdog. Teams that score 50 the previous week, which whatever was that Bucs Saints game happened last week.
Crazy.
That happened. Teams that score 50 the previous week and then are listed as a home dog, 65-87-1. Lamar just owns the NFC, not named Daniel Jones. I get the emotional factor. I'm not letting emotions dictate this pick. I think the Bucs still cover. This is going to be a close game. I think this is a shootout spot. Baker's playing pretty much at an MVP caliber level right now. But I think Lamar is too. I think you're giving me the better coach. You're giving me the better quarterback. Both defenses, in my opinion, are sus. I'll take the team with the better quarterback and coach.
But you take the points.
I will take the points with the Bucs.
Yeah. Okay. All right. This game is going to be my player profit pick of the week. Yep. Ugh. And Shane, I'm going to use a trend here.
Oh my.
And I'm not a huge fan of trends. I mean, I like trends. Obviously, they're cool. I don't usually bet on trends, but this one I found very interesting. This goes back to the Denver game too, which is why I was on Denver -3, which was a pretty easy one. All right, here we go. All right. This is one of the craziest trends I found, and I look through trends a lot just because I like them. All right, NFC home dogs of 3 or less. So 2 and 3, 2.5, 2, 1, 1.5, blah, blah, blah. Facing an AFC road favorite. Okay, Chargers. In prime time are 3-17-2 against the spread, and now 3-19 straight up. It gets even more interesting if this line gets to 3. If this line gets to 3, exactly 3, the home dog is 0-12 straight up and 0-10-2 against the spread the last 12. That's fucking insane. I make this game 23-20 LA. So right on this cusp here of the spread here. This line's been bouncing back and forth. It's up 2.5, up 3, down 2, down to 1.5. So a lot of movement here. I like this game anywhere up to 3 here for the Chargers. I like to get it 4-3. But this Chargers defense has really stepped up this year. Really stepped up. They're showing how bad Brandon Staley was as a coach after what we saw for the last, 4 years with him. As of right now, playing really good on the defensive side of the ball. Yes, they haven't played too many good teams yet. I know. But you're playing a bad Arizona defense against a good quarterback in Justin Herbert. I think it's a bad spot for Arizona. I'll leave the 3, the 2 here with LA.
I will be bolting up as well here. Harbaugh and Herbert are just apparently just gods in terms of Monday Night Football. Herbert's 6-1 ATS on the road in night games, 3-0 ATS on the road on Monday Night Football. He's 4-0 straight up, 3-1 ATS when a favorite on Monday Night Football. Harbaugh 6-0 straight up, 5-1 ATS on Monday Night Football. Kyler has lost 6 of his last 7 starts in prime time. Marvin Harrison, I don't know if he's playing or not because he had that iffy concussion. So if he's out, that's even worse for the Cardinals. I think the Chargers kind of just run it down their throat.
Yeah,
which they have been with Dobbins.
It's a hardball team. Defense and run.
I'm taking the Chargers.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if this line gets below 2 again. It was 1.5 this morning and jumped right back to 2 real quick. So, if you want to bet it, I'd say bet it immediately Sunday morning and wait till Monday because I think it's gonna get to 3 again. So,
Marvin Harrison is cleared to play. That just came out.
That's probably why the line moved a little bit down.
Yeah.
So, all right, it's big for them. All right, guys. Week 7 in the books. Years just flying by. Crazy how we're through 7 weeks already of the NFL. 11 more to go. But we'll be back next Sunday. We were off last 2 weeks. I was out of the country, so couldn't film. Don't see me being away pretty much towards the end of the year. So we should be back every Sunday here at 11 a.m. And, yeah, guys, we'll catch you next week.
See ya.